Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we are learning from this test. I realize some of this stuff is not covered in detail. So what we're going to do to make life easier, we're going to work this in a manner that will make better sense to you. We're not going to do all the tough ones right. We will, but okay.
So we're not going to do.
No, we're going to do them. We're just not going to do them in the roll. We're going to do my order.
Oh.
So we're going to start at number 20 because it's easier. So can you all see problem number 20?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking you all have like these printed out. So I wouldn't necessarily have to pull it up here, but certainly I want to keep everybody on track. So now let's go. Let's do this. So the problem that you have before you is x minus 1 in parentheses squared plus y minus 3 in parentheses equals 36. This is problem number 20. So in a problem like this mathematical equation is clearly a circle. And when you have a square, and have it set up like this where you have the x minus 1 squared and the y minus 3 squared, those two will give you the center of the circle. And that is whatever makes that package 0 will become the x of the center of the circle. So what goes there to make that 0? Anyone?
1.
Yes. Now, in this package, what makes that 0?
3.
Exactly.
Yes, 3.
So the center of this circle is 3. Now the radius is always going to be equal to the square root of that situation there. And what's the square root of 36? Is 6. The square root of 36 is 6. So now we have the center of the circle, which is 1, 3, and the radius 36. Is everybody okay with that so far?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
So now let's make this better learning. Now, here's another one. I have x plus 2 squared plus x minus 5 squared equals 49. What is the center of this circle?
The square root of 49.
Nope. That's the radius. What is the center?
The x minus 5.
-2, 5. The 2 and the 5.
Yes.
Oh.
The center comes from here, making it negative, and here, making it positive. That's the center of the circle. The radius is the square root of this number. What's the square root of that?
7.
Is that making better sense now?
Yes.
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 Okay, so now I'll give you 2 examples. If you, I'll get a lot of feedback. So let's look at the problem 20. On your thing, you see that they have given you this. They have, and I'm going to repeat it so now it makes better sense. So tell me, what is the center of that circle now? Easy.
The 1
1
plus 3.
3.
Comma 3. 1 comma 3, that's the center. Because this is your x, this is your y. And the radius is what?
6.
6.
6.
The square root of
Now.
36.
Perfect. So now, if I go to the question on the test, it does not ask you to graph it. I think it only asks you for the center of the circle. I think, maybe not. Oh yeah, they do. They ask you to graph it and to graph it. Nah. Let's see. What does the question say? Yeah, it says to graph it. Now the solution shows the center of the circle being 1 and up 3. Now it's badly written, but the circle on the graph, it goes up over 1 and up 3, right about here. And a radius of 6, so you got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and then 6. And then that's the circle. So again, we had 1, 3, and 6. 1, 3 was the center of the circle, the radius of 6. On a graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This way is a negative 10. So we would go over 1 and up 3. Should be right about there. That's the center of your circle from this. Now the radius is 6, not diameter, so we got to count over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it comes out here. Goes up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's over here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is down here. This is the circle. Should hit that dot there, I'm sorry. Can you think you could graph that now?
Yes.
Who's that?
Yes.
Celine.
Okay, so let me also check. Is Brittany here?
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure you were. All right, so because I didn't have you in. Is Naomi here yet? How about Jose Facundo? Tiffany Lewis. Tiffany usually come in by now.
I'm here.
Is that Jose? Is that Mr. Facundo? Who was it that said they were here, please? Jose, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so make sure I know who I'm here is. I got you, Jose. All right, so that's that. That's
Somewhat. It's kind of breaking up. Yeah,
column number 20. You guys good with 20?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we're going to go to another one. I have a whole plan here which ones we're going to do next. So I think the next one we want to go to is 19. Come on, machine. Of course. It's not working very good. Do I have a 19? There it is. Now, number 19 is also a circle. And so I'm teaching you this one, all right? Number 19 is not set up to be easily identified as number 20. So 19 is a harder one than 20. So for 19, we got to make this problem look like 20. Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now, here's the first step. Like it, I just want to make sure I can get this. Now, they have given you x squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 12y plus 52 equals 0. Now, in order for us to get it to look like the other one, remember on the right was the number by itself. Remember we had 36 and 49?
Yes.
Yes.
This is supposed to be one here, excuse me. So what we want to do is put the x's together, the y's together, and then them on the other side. So we're going to put x squared minus 10x plus y squared minus 12y equals a negative 52. So all we've done is reorganize it. Is it looking better?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, if you remember, if you look on your paper, if you look at number 20, you had the x squared and the y in a square. So we got to complete the squares. So the first one we're going to deal with is the x part. We need to add something to make it a square. Does anybody know what number goes there?
Divided by 2, the 10.
And then you square it. That's right. So it's 25. It's always half of 10 squared. So what would the next one be, anybody? Exactly. Now, I underlined those two numbers because we just added them, didn't we? We just added those numbers to the equation. They weren't there before, were they?
No.
They weren't there. No. They weren't there before. So we added them. But so whatever you do to the left, you got to do the what?
To the other side.
The right.
To the right. So we're going to add 25. And we're going to add 36. So what does the right-hand side equal?
Uh,
77.
No.
9.
I got 9.
9.
Oh, I didn't see the negative.
It's 61 minus 52 is 9. Now that should be what is the radius going to be then?
3.
3.
Exactly. Now, let's go back up to the left-hand side of this equation. We completed the square. So what is this really equal to? X. What was half of 10? 5 squared. That's what that equals. All this stuff here equals that. And it's always going to be half whatever the middle number is. So what's the next side going to be? Y what?
Six, I would say.
Minus 6. Exactly.
Minus 6.
Now, what's the center of this circle?
5.
5 and 6. -6.
Exactly. What? No, it's got to be positive because it has to equal 0. 6 minus 6 is 0. So now you've got the center, and now you have the radius. So that's 19. Is everybody okay with this one? Talk to me,
Yes.
I have a quick question.
please.
How do we get the 25 and the 36? Like, what do we have to do to get those two numbers?
Can somebody help me?
You do the b divided by 2 and then square it.
B divided by
What?
2 and then square?
You
That's
take
what
X
the,
and the Y
the negative
divided by
10.
2 and then squared.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
I guess
Okay,
the b
so
is the A, B, C order.
Okay, who's saying?
Yeah, could one of you speak?
Who wants to speak?
You go ahead. You go.
I'll go. Okay, so you see the -10x,
Mm-hmm.
you half it into -5, and then you square root it, which 5 times 5 is 25.
No,
That's how
you
got
don't
the
square root it. You square it.
Squared, I'm sorry, squared. I'm sorry. And then the -12, you cut that into half. The -12y, cut it in half, that's 6. And then you square it. 6 times 6 is 36. That's how you got that 36 there.
Okay. Okay, I get it. Thank you.
So class, the easy thing of it is, you can jump to this line right here, easy, by just taking half of whatever the middle terms is and just write x minus 5 squared. You can do the same thing for the y. Take half of the 12 and you get this squared. The problem is, when you do that, you're adding some numbers to it, and the number is really 25 and 36. See, when you complete the square, you're adding numbers. And when you add the numbers to the left, then you got to add them to the right. That's why you get 9. So you're not complete. Yeah, these are squares. That gives you the center, but you got to get the radius on the right. So that's perfect. You guys are understanding. And by the way, you guys, when is your test due? You don't even have it yet, right? Or do you?
No,
No.
sir.
No.
Your test, I gave the test to my other class, and only like 3 people worked together. And their grades were not very good. I was like ready to tear it up. I mean, nobody flunked, and everybody got a B or higher, but I wanted everybody to get A's. I was just shocked. I asked folks how we work together. Only 3 people. I just can't get it. You know, any other time, I'm teaching at the college, and I say, you know, you're on your own. People are trying to pass notes. They're writing on their arms. They're having scratch papers under their desk. Now you can do it legally. Oh, I don't want to call anybody. I'm too tired. You know, what is going on? I just don't get it. Anyway, I want you to get an A. That's why I'm going over this like this. All right, so we got 2 done. We're going to go to another one. Let's go to 16, okay? 16 says this. F of x equals a negative 8x.
What is that, a 7?
Where?
The first one, the first character, is that a F?
Yeah, it's f of x.
Okay.
F of x equals negative 8x plus 8. Trying to make fun of me since I got hurt in the arm here, aren't you? Just kidding. So that's the equation. Can you all read that? F of X.
Yes.
Okay, so now, well, you got it written there. You're supposed to have it printed out, don't you all?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes.
so instead of, what is f of x really, class?
A function or y?
Why?
So we're just going to rewrite it like this. Now, they want you to calculate the inverse. The inverse is annotated like this. F of x, -1. Now, in order to calculate that, you got to simply switch the y with the x. This is now x. This is now y. See that? I just simply switched the y with the x. Everybody will get okay with that so far?
Is it because
Yes.
just because it says inverse?
Yes.
And so that's why? Okay.
Inverse, yeah, remember inverse? X is y is x. It switches. So we okay so far?
Yes.
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 Okay, now, in order to make this right, we got to get y by itself. What would be the next thing you would do to get y by itself?
You
Subtract the 8.
Yeah. X minus 8 then equals a -8y. Because if you subtract 8 here, it goes away. But then you got to subtract it on the other side. Now, I want to get y by itself. What's the next step?
We're going to divide the other side
By
by
what?
-8.
Yeah, you got to divide by the same thing because anything over itself is 1. Now we got y by itself. But if we do that to the right, we got to do it what?
To the left.
To the left side.
Yes. Now, the only thing you got to do next, this is exactly right. X minus 8 over 8. But it no longer equals y because it's the inverse, right?
Yeah.
So what is the inverse annotation?
It'll be the -8 x over 8.
F of x -1. That's your final answer. Now, ask me a question about the process. Are you good?
Yes.
What step did we do here? The arrow. What step happened there?
You inverse the x for the y. For the x.
We put y in for f of x. Right? Step number 1.
Yes.
Okay, what step happened here at this step? What happened here?
We got, we moved the 8 to the left side.
Nope.
You changed you did the inverse with the y and the x.
Yeah, you switch the x and the y. Now, this step here where we minus the 8, step 3, we're trying to do what? What are we trying to get by itself?
The y. Y.
There you go. That's the whole process. Then the last one, very end one, you got to make sure that instead of saying y, which is what we started out with, we can't say y, we have to say the inverse function, which is f of x with a -1. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, that's correct. But on your on the answer sheet, you have x minus 8 over -8.
Yes, and it is correct because look at right here. I didn't see how we have a -8 here. I just didn't put it here.
Okay.
Yeah, we had it. We just didn't carry it over. I think technically I put it in the middle, but that's good. So we good with 16?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now. Let's see. Do you want me to do the hard one? Or let's see what other one I got here that I might. So I got them all done here. So that,
We didn't, oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
We didn't finish number, was it number 12? We did
No,
number
we
13.
We did not do 12. We did 13.
Yes.
So let me, you guys want me to do 12 for you?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right, so we're going to do number 12. Let me share with you this. On the scale of 1 to 10, this is a number 10 problem. I consulted some folks on this. I said, is there an easier way to do it? They say there's not. So I redid it so that I wouldn't hesitate with you guys at all, so you could see exactly what the problem is. And let's take a look for a second. Let's look at it. See if we can move to 12. See, the machine's gonna work out. I mean, are you kidding? Normal. We're 14.
You did it, but the answer just didn't add up to it.
Yeah, no, it's messed up. I got it. There's number 12. You guys see number 12? The square root of x plus 6.
Yes.
So, okay. Now, you all have the problem. I'm going to start with the step number 1. You guys okay with that?
Yes.
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 Okay, so I'm not going to rewrite the problem. I'm only going to go to step number 1. Okay, so step number 1. Let me just be sure. I want to make sure everything is correct for this one, so you can write it down and be absolutely sure. So step number 1 for number 12. I'm going to push the other square root to the other side. So I'm going to have the square root of x plus 6 by itself equals 4 minus the square root of 2 minus x. Is there a question about what I did there?
No.
I put the 1 square root on the other side. How did I do that? Why is it minus? Because it was the square root of 2 minus x on the other side left. It was positive, so I had to subtract it from the left to get the square root of x by 6 by itself. Whatever I do the left, I got to do the right. So everybody okay? How come it's negative square root of 2 minus x?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now the reason why I did that is because I want to get rid of these square roots so I can solve this problem. So the next thing I'm going to do, this is step number 1. I'm going to do square this. I'm going to take the square root of x plus 6, like this, and square it. I don't know why I did it like this, but I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm going to take the 4 minus the square root of 2 minus x, because the rules are, if I square the left, I got to square the right. Whatever you do the left, got to do the right. So everybody okay at that step?
Yes.
Okay, now, if we square the left-hand side, Are you kidding me? Is that what I did? No. Why is my brain doing that? I hate to do this. Let me start over because I want to do it another easier way. I've got it here 3 or 4 ways. I've got it. Let me do it over. Again, you have the same thing, but I'm going to subtract from the one side the x plus 6. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to have square root of 2 minus x equals 4 minus the square root of x plus 6. I'm going to do it this way because it has the positive inside. So everybody see what I did here. This is problem number 12. This is step number 1. Again, all I did was get one square root by itself. I elected to put the x plus 6 on the other side. Now, why did I do that? Because it was positive. Easier to work with. It saves a step. So everybody see what I did? I left the 2 with the negative x in the radical on the left-hand side. So I subtracted it from the right, so I have to subtract it from the left and vice versa. So we good with that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to square this one on the left. Whatever I do on the left, I got to do on the right. Now, everybody okay at that step? That's 1 and 2 now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now when you square the left, what do you get? Anybody?
You 2 negative x.
Yeah, get whatever's inside. 2 minus x. Now, on the other side, when you multiply it out, I mean, I have it written down here, but I don't think you can see it. You guys wrote this down, right? You have all this written down, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to do this better than what I have in my notes. I'm squaring it. Squaring it means you multiply it by itself. You guys see that? It's like 2 times 2. It's 2 squared. 3 times 3 is 3 squared. Everybody okay at that?
Yes.
Okay, that's step 3. Now, step 4, I'm gonna actually do the work. I am gonna do this part right here for you, all this up here. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times this number is a negative 4 square roots of x plus 6. This times this is another negative 4 square roots of x plus 6. And when you take the square root of x plus 6 times the square root of x plus 6, you get whatever's inside plus x plus 6. Everybody okay with that?
I'm a little confused as to, so instead of just squaring it, you
We did
wrote it
square.
twice? No, I know, but instead of squaring it, you just wrote it. Sorry, I got confused.
I'm not sure of the question. You asking about step 3 here?
Yes.
Okay, well, it said square above it, so when you square something, it's the thing multiplied by itself twice.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, I understand.
That's what it is. Now, the squaring process is called FOIL. You take the first one times the first one, we got 16. The first one in FOIL is like this. The first, the outer, the inner, and the last. So the outer ones are going to be then 4 times a negative square root x, and we should put that down here. We got that's the next one. Then the inners are going to be a negative again, 4, so it doubles. And then we take the square root of 6 times, and a negative times a negative is a positive, so we get x plus 6. You get whatever's inside. If I take the square root of 3 times the square root of 3, I'm going to get 3. Does that make sense? That's just like we did up above here on the left. Ask me a question about this line. This is line 4. This is FOIL. Any question how we got the right-hand side? Now's the time to ask.
I was going to ask on the previous one, you actually got 16, negative 8, square root of 2 minus x plus 2 minus x. How did you get the negative 8?
I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing it another way here. Yeah, we're doing it this method right here. I don't want to confuse anybody. Because I think it's just the best way to do it. I'm trying to show you the best way to do this problem because it's going to match the one on your exam. So ask about number 4, anybody. The right-hand side. Does everybody understand how I got all the parts on the right-hand side?
Can you please go over it again, the FOIL? It's 4 times 4.
Yeah, 4 times 4. That's the 2 first parts of each of them.
You haven't tried
The first,
Botox right through your
I'm hearing a lot of stuff in the background.
Botox makes for an hour sleep.
I mean, people talking, please. So in FOIL, you have the first ones of each thing. So that means 4 times 4. I gave you 16. Then the outer one, 4 times the outer one, which is the square root of x plus 6. And it's negative, so you get 4 of those. Then you take the inner ones. That's the square root of x plus 6, negative times 4 again. So you get 2 of those. And then you take the outer one, the last ones of each, which is the square root of x plus 6 times the square root of x plus 6. Negative times negative makes a positive. You get whatever's inside, x plus 6. The first, the outer, the inner, and the last. Question again. Better?
Yes.
So this is one, this is the part. Part number 4 is the hard part that students get messed up on. And just remember, on the L part here, the reason it was positive because you had a negative times a negative. The 2 last parts of that are negatives. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think we're going to do next on the right-hand side? Combine what kind of terms?
Like terms.
Like term.
So let's how many x's do we have?
3.
What? Now remember, x is not the same thing as the square root of x. How many x's do we have?
1.
Okay, we have 1. I'm going to put that down here. How many negative 4 square roots of x plus 6's do we have?
2.
No. Yeah. So how many would it be altogether then? Four apples and another 4 apples gives us 8 of those apples, right?
Yes.
Don't we have x plus 6, 4 of them? I don't, this is step number 5. This should be an easy one for you guys, not too hard. How many x's do we have? 1. How many square roots of x plus 6 do we have? Negative 8. What's the last number going to be? Somebody help me. Plus what?
16. Or 22.
22. Because you add 16 and 6. Everybody okay with that? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got really confused when you started doing the other method.
I didn't do another method. I just used it this. I started, I don't know how I could confuse you. let me try and unconfuse you. What part did it start being confusing? Help me out.
Like starting step 3.
Okay. I mean, you don't know, you want me to do step 3 again?
Yes, please, if you could.
Okay, so we're going to look up above. We have, which is the very beginning. We have 4 minus the square root of x plus 6 in parentheses squared. Do you see that? I'm pointing to it.
Yes.
Okay, so it says it's squaring it. When you square something, you got to have it twice. I listed it twice. Do you see it listed twice right below it?
Yes.
Okay. Why did we square it? Because we squared the left to get rid of the square root, so we get 2 minus x. The whole thing is to get the square root by itself so you can square it. That's what you're trying to do, because then you can get rid of the square root. Now, on the right-hand side, we've cleaned the left-hand side up. We got 2 minus x. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
But on the right, we have a mess. So then we got to use the FOIL method for multiplying. 4 times 4 gives you 16. 4 times the negative square root of x gives you negative 4 of those. The negative square root of x plus 6 times 4 gives you another negative 4 square root of x plus 6. And then when you multiply x plus x plus 6, both under the radical, that's saying the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, but we have x plus 6 in there instead. So we get x plus 6. So that puts us at line 4, which is FOIL. Are we caught up?
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
now we're just adding up the like terms for step 5. We look at 4 and we say, we only got 1 x, so I want to bring it down. We have a negative 4 square root with negative 4 apples and another negative 4 apples. There's negative 8 apples, but that apple is really 8x plus 6. Then we added the 16 and 6 and got 22. Now, what would be our next step? What are we trying to do? Anybody? What are we trying to do here? What are we trying to solve for here, class?
X.
Yeah, we're trying to get x by itself. So I got an x on both sides, don't I?
Yes.
So let's push it to the other side. So now we have, for step 6, we have 2 minus 2x equals a negative 8 square root of x plus 6 plus 22. Everybody okay at that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
You sure? We got rid of the x on the right by subtracting it. If we subtract an x on the right, we got to do it to the left, always. Okay, look, I want to shrink this again. What could I divide everything by?
Two.
I would say the middle term, but can you?
I don't know how you do that.
So the 8?
That 22?
Isaiah has said 2. I don't know if you heard her.
Okay. Well, I wonder if I can erase part of this. See if I can do this. Oh, no! All right. That's all right. Okay, so this line should be your line 2. Are you good with that as line 2, anybody?
Yes.
Everybody okay at that? Now, to make this easier, let's do this for line 3. We'll keep the 2 minus x. What terms can we combine on the right-hand side?
16 and negative 6.
Yeah, we made a mistake, so it should be 10. Minus 8 square roots of x plus 6. Okay, now, what are we trying to get by itself?
X.
Okay. So what do we want to do? We got x on both sides. What would you do?
Negative x.
You want to get x on one side. So yeah, you'd subtract x from this side, subtract from the other side. So you end up with 2 minus 2x equals 10 minus 8 square roots of excuse me, x plus 6.
Bless you.
Sound type.
Don't be ashamed. Okay, so negative x plus 6. It should have been 10. What would be your next step? There's a couple things you could do.
We can subtract 10.
Huh? Yes! Subtract 10 from the right, you subtract it from the left, you get a negative 8 minus 2x equals a negative 8 square root of x plus 6. Beautiful. Perfect. Everybody see how I got negative on the left-hand side? Negative 8. Anybody? How do we get negative 8 on the left-hand side?
Negative 10.
You subtracted
moved
10
it.
from the right, and you subtract it from the right, you got to subtract it from the left. Again, I'm not going to move forward to hear a few more amens. How did we get negative 8?
In order to move the 10 from the right to the left, we subtracted.
Who said that?
Celine.
Celine, you're right. Anybody else say that? See that? If you subtract 10 from the right, it goes
Yes.
away. There's nothing left. Okay, so now, what's the next thing we can do to shrink this?
Do we divide by negative 8?
No, because the 2 can't divide by it. But you're close. You're on target, though. Close.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. How about if we divide by a negative 2? You're going to divide by a negative 2. Why? Because then that makes, what's a negative 8 divided by a negative 2?
4.
You add them, so negative 8 divided by 2.
10.
Oh, no.
Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is 4.
Yeah, 8 divided by 2 is 4. If you don't, yeah. And what's a negative 2 divided by negative 2?
Negative 2.
1.
So we got x, and it's positive. 1x, right? Negative divided by negative is a positive, so it's positive x. So we divide the other side by negative 2, what do we get? What's half of a negative 8?
Negative 4.
So we're down to a negative 4, x is plus 6. Everybody okay at that? All we did here was divide by negative 2. That's step 5. Are we good?
Yeah.
You sure? 8 divided by 2 is 4. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Are you sure? Look at the right-hand side. Look at the left-hand side then. What's a negative 8 divided by a negative 2?
It's negative 10.
What?
No, it's
Oh,
four.
divided. I'm sorry, divided.
It's 4.
It's 4.
Hey, it's 4. So on the right-hand side, a negative 8 divided by a negative 2 is what?
A negative 4.
No,
It's a 4.
Negative 8
A
divided
4
by.
too.
positive 4. Isn't a negative negative divided by positive? I'm not trying to confuse you. I'm just simply saying a negative 8 on the left divided by negative gave you a positive 4. Why wouldn't it be a positive 4 on the right? It's the same. A negative divided by negative is a positive. That's all I'm pointing out.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay, so now we got to get this square root situation figured out. We're going to square this again. We square that, we're going to square this side too. Now, if we square the left, we have 4 plus x squared. Want me to work that for you on the left first? Do you all know what that is equal to? It's x squared plus 8x plus 16. You guys want me to show you how I get that?
So you just use the FOIL method for 4 plus x and then 4 plus x and
Exactly.
multiply those.
I put it as x plus 4 first, like this, times x plus 4 like this. X times that gave me x squared. This times this gave me a 4x. This times this gives me another 4x. And 4 times 4 gave me 16. I add these up, I get 8x plus 16. Everybody okay with that on the left?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what the right
Yes.
is now. You should be able to tell me what the right is easily. Let me ask it this way. What is 4 squared?
16.
16.
What's the square root of x plus 6 times the square root of x plus 6?
Square root x plus 6.
No. Remember the square root of 3 times the square root of
X
3?
to the second power, or
Look what I did here. When you take the square root of something, multiply it by itself, you get whatever's inside.
X plus 6.
Yeah, you just get x plus 6. You get whatever's inside. Now, are we ready to continue?
Yes.
So we have x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 16x plus 16 times 6 is 96. Now, to solve this problem, I have only 2 steps left. I want to get everything equal to 0 and all my x's on one side. What would you do? And I want to keep my x squared positive.
you move
Okay.
the negative, is it negative 16? To the right?
No.
Oh, well, it'll be easier to move the 96 to
You
the,
want to get everything on the right, on the left-hand side. I want to get my x's together. Remember? So I'm going to subtract 16x on the right. If I subtract on the right, I subtract it on the left. What do I get then? x squared. What goes
Negative.
here?
Negative 8x
Yes.
plus 10.
This is a 16. Now, I'm not
Oh.
finished with it. I want to get this equal to 0. So how do I get 0 on the side? I've already subtracted the 16x, it's gone away. What do I do to get rid of the 96?
We subtract 16 from 96.
Subtract 96 on the left side.
You take away 96 on the right side so you get 0. If I take away from the right, I got to take away from the left. What do you get on the left then?
The negative 16.
Negative what?
96.
No, if you take negative 96 and combine it with 16, what do you get?
Negative
Negative 8.
80.
Now you can factor this. Here's an x and another x. What two numbers multiplied together equal negative 80 and add up to negative 8? Somebody knows.
That's a hard one because it can't be the divided by 4. That doesn't add up. No.
Yep, it does.
It does?
What would it be? What two numbers multiplied together? Give us that.
You also have to add. They also have to add to negative.
You saying what two numbers make up 80? Multiply
Yeah.
10 and 8?
Actually, negative 8 plus 10.
That's right. The answer key, let's see what the answer key says.
-2.
It says, -2.
Yeah.
So, the factoring is not going to work. That's bad. Yeah, because when we worked it, we got this at the end. We got x minus 10 and x, let's see, plus 10 and x minus, because you said the answer was 2, right?
It's -2.
Yes, -2.
Plus 2 and minus 10. That doesn't equal this. That should have been a 20 then. And that meant then that the answer would be only 2 because you cannot have a -10. This is extraneous. I'll tell you what I'll do. This is what, number 12?
Yes.
Yes, number 12.
Yes.
What, you guys don't have the exam yet, right?
No.
No, we don't.
No.
Okay. That's the answer. It's this one. Let's go on. We'll do a couple of the other. And I hate spending so much time on this. Let's do this. Let's see. What's another one that we haven't done? It's only like 2 or 3 more.
Number 14, 15. 14, 15, 16. And 18.
Let's go to 15. Can you guys see 15?
Yes.
All right. 15 I'm going to show you, and you should be able to do well on this one. 15 says that they have h of x, which is like it's a function, equals 16x plus 81. Now, they want us to divide this in 2 functions, and all of this is an absolute value. They say they want an f function of a g function. Now, what that means is you have to have one equation, which is called the f equation. The f equation is then used to create what you see there on the left by plugging in the g equation. So the solution for this is the f of x equation is equal to simply this. Now, I'm going to explain in a minute. The g of x equation, oh, heck, did we do that? Do I have the right? F of g. Yeah, that's the f. The g equation, the g of x equation is equal to whatever's inside, 16x plus 8. Now,
Dr. Wickman?
6x.
yes.
I think that's a 6.
Oh, heck, it is. Okay, so what the key is this little thing here where the star is. It says the f function goes first. That means you got to do this. And then it says that g is plugged into the f. That's your 6x plus 8. That's how it's done. You're going to say, well, what did we do? Well, you've created 2 equations and put them together in accordance with the guidance. So let's look at it again. I want you to get this one right because it's not hard. 15 says they want you to create a function in this order, f of g of x. And they want you to have it end up to be h of x equals absolute value of 6x plus 8. It might have looked like 16, but it was 6. Should have been. So we have 2 equations in here. This is really 2 equations. We have the absolute value thing here. So the f function is equal to absolute value, and there's an x in it because we don't know what it is. The g function of x is equal to 6x plus 8. So because the order up here where it's starred, that tells us the order. It says the f function must come first. So we do this. And then we got to plug the g function in for the x, which is 6x plus 8. And all that's going to equal to the h of x function. Does that make better sense?
Yes.
Let me do another one. Let's do the absolute value h of x equals 3x plus 2. Absolute value. Now they want us to create a g of f situation. Let me make it prettier. Golly. H of x is equal to, what did I say? Absolute value, what? 3x plus 2?
Yeah. 3x plus 2.
Okay, so when you look at what's to the right of h of x, you see two things. You see an absolute value thing and a number inside it. They want us to create a g of f situation. Of x. That means the g must come first. Well, g is the absolute value thing. So g of x is going to simply equal the absolute value. And we don't know what x is, so we just put a blank in there of x. We do know x is supposed to be 3x plus 2. So the g of x function is whatever's inside. Which is 3x plus 2. We then plug it inside in accordance with this. We get the h of x function. Which is x plus 2. All you do is put that inside it. That's all we did.
2. Shouldn't it be 3x plus 2?
Yeah, that's a 3. The 3 in front of it, yes. Yeah, you got it better than me. That's exactly right. So on the test, you're going to get something that's going to say like this. You're going to separate it out. The absolute value is going to be your first function. That's going to give you the g of x equals an absolute value with an x in it. The next one should have been f of x. The g of x is going to be whatever goes inside it. You got to do one more. Again, one more. H of x equals absolute value of, let's say, 5x plus 3. They wanted you to do an f of g function of x. That means you have to have two functions, an f function and a g function. The f function in this case comes first. So f of x is going to equal the absolute value of x, just like that. The g of x function is going to be whatever we're going to put inside it, which is 5x plus 3. So these are your two functions, 1 and 2. To plug them up, f1 must come first. That means you got to put this one first. Then you have G. Just plug G in it. And you put G in there. And that all equals f of G of X. To making better sense?
Yes.
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 We missed one other one. 14, right?
Yes. 14, 18, and 17.
We didn't do 17?
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
17 is easy. We'll do 17. 17 says you have f of x equals 2x minus 7. The question is, for f of x equals 2x minus 7, what can x be in this equation? Can you tell me?
3.
It can be any number you want it to be. There's no number that you cannot use for x. Now the g of x equation. What number can you not have in the g of x equation?
A
For x.
positive 10.
Exactly. If this is 10, you get 0 in the denominator, so it's no bueno. So it's the solution set from this is all negative infinity numbers up to 10, but not including 10, and all positive numbers and infinity, but not 10. So that's your solution. Again, the solution is whatever x can be or cannot be. So x can be anything but 10. That means everything going negative numbers but 10. And everything positive numbers going direction this way. Are we good there?
Yes.
Let's go to the next one. So by the way, if you have x over x plus 2, what can you not have x be?
A negative 2.
Yeah, so it's everything but negative 2. Everything but negative 2. If you want to write it that way, I'm fine with it. You guys good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What's another one we didn't do? You said 14?
Yes. 14 and 18.
Okay. Let's go to 18. That's easy. That's easier.
Everybody says easy.
It's easiest. It's the easiest one. Here's what 18 says. I think I got a special plan for you guys, though. I really do. So, come on, shoot up. All right, perfect. 18. Oops. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Come on. Figures. It's not going. It's not getting there. Does this take this long to react? We have 2 more to go. We're almost done.
I think it says your
Okay, look.
Wi-Fi is low.
18. Yeah, sure. So let's look at 18. Here it is. What does f of x really stand for, class?
Why?
Why?
Y. So they want us to graph the original equation. Graph f as a solid line and f as a negative one. So if we graph 18 as a solid line, we simply put in our calculator y equals the square root of that, of x minus 2. So let's do that. Let's put that in our calculator.
Dr. Wickman, can you please repeat that? You're breaking up.
We're going to use our calculator and put in just what we had. The square root of x minus 2. Because that's what y is. So we go to our calculator. We're going to say y equals, wow, it is bad. Clear this. Clear this. We're going to put in the square root. That's the second value, square root, x minus 2. We'll graph it. You see the graph?
Yes.
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 Okay, now, the inverse of this graph means everything that is in the x position now goes to the y. So the original graph is this. So I have an arrow. You see my arrow? What does it point on? What point?
We don't see your arrow.
You don't see an arrow?
No.
Jeez. Thank you for telling me. Can you see the graph here?
Yes.
Yes,
What position is this right here where my dot is?
the 2.
Yes.
To what?
2 0.
Oh, 0 0 2.
2, 0. This is your x, and this is your y. So it's 2, 0. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
The equation that they gave you in 18 was that you have the square root of x minus 2. So if you put 2 in the equation, you're going to get your y. Are we okay with that? Which was 0. What's a number you could put in for x to give you a clean y? What could x be to give you an easy y? How about 6? What's 6 minus 2?
4.
4.
And what's the square root of 4?
2.
Okay, so the next ordered pair is 6, 2. So the reciprocal, or the inverse, changes these, right? So the other one now becomes 0, 2, boom, and 6, what? 2, 6, right? It starts to go
Yes.
like this. Again, this is your regular equation right here. This is f of x. F of negative x, like that, means the x and the y changes. 0, 2, and 2, 6. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Last one. the equation that they give you in number 14. Is this. They say that you have f of x plus h minus f of x. It's all over h, and we know h cannot equal 0. Because h is 0, it's no good. They tell you that f of x is equal to 3x squared. So what is this part? What is our x in this case? In the first part of the equation, what is x? It's x plus h. When you have this part right here, anything after the f is the x technically. So the first thing says if they want us to square it. So we have 3 times x plus h squared. And then we're going to minus f of x. What's f of x in this case? What does this say, class?
Why?
Huh?
3x squared.
Yes, f of x is 3x squared. It's telling you to subtract it. We're going by this equation right here where I'm starring. It says x plus h is our x. So we plug it in for the x squared, which is then 3 times x plus h squared. Then it says minus the f of x. The minus f of x is the 3x squared. And all this is over what? H. Because that's what it says. So we just can multiply it out. X plus h squared. And then 3 times it. So we'll simply take 3 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 3x squared. The 3x squared comes from here. And it's all over h. So the next line is going to give us this. 3x squared plus 3 times 2 gives us 6x8 plus 3h squared minus 3x squared. And all this is over h. You can cancel. This cancels. This cancels. That's going to give us 6xh plus 3h squared all over h. Simply cancel the h's, and you get 6x plus 3h. And you can factor out a 3 in that, and you're going to get 2x plus h. And that is the last one, and that is 14. So here's what I want to do for you guys. I know there's only a few folks left. I'm going to give you the exam with the answer key. Now you're going to say, well, good. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you the exam with the answer key, I think. Now, let me think. I hate to do this. We're past our time by about 15 or 10 minutes. Let me do this. Let me send you the exam. And if you have questions on the exam next class, I will answer them. How's that?
That's good.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
good.
thank you.
Okay, so if that means setting you up partway and helping you start it, I will do that. If some folks want to do all but a couple problems, that's fine, but don't hand it in to me or send it in parts. No, I will not accept any homework or the test until it's done. Does that make sense?
Yes. When is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Based on today's day, let's say, if you have it this weekend and you have a chance to look at it, if I send it to you like tomorrow or the next day, that's not a whole lot of time.
Can you send it tonight?
I could try. I'm pretty tired like you guys, but I could try.
That'd be great, but if you can't, it's okay.
I'll try and do that. So what date for you guys would be good? Today is the 16th. What do you think would be good?
For it to be
Anything
due?
during the week.
Yeah? How much time, really?
I think it should be due on Monday by next class period.
Yeah, Monday sounds good.
I don't like it. It's too soon.
It is too soon.
Wednesday.
Really?
Wednesday.
How
For
about,
Wednesday.
no.
Yeah,
let's-
Wednesday.
Let's say, how about the 25th?
That sounds
Yes.
good.
What day?
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying the 25th is because that'll give you all the weekend. It'll give you 2 classes. In fact, let me just say it'll be due on the 27th. That'll even give you the Saturday. We'll say it's going to be due on the 27th by 5:00 p.m.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's fine. Wait,
Okay, now my purpose for this will be that this is a teaching test. So if you have questions, you can ask me them on Monday. You can ask me on Wednesday and still have the weekend to work on it and get it back to me on Sunday by 5. How's that?
That sounds good.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Do
you.
you know how many questions it's gonna be?
Same as this. 20.
How many questions? 25?
20 something.
I don't think you have 25. I think you had 20, didn't you?
No, you have
20.
20.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I mean, I could give you 25, but I think 20 is good.
No, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
thank you.
No, 20 is fine.
All right, you guys. I know you're tired. Let me see if I can work on getting you the test. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I might even send you the answers because I want you to show me the work how to get the answer, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
I might.
Yes, sir, thank you.
I might, but since I'm giving you so much time, I might not because you can always come to me on Monday or Wednesday and ask me how to get there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Is that fair? I mean, this is a booger bear of a
Yeah,
test, and I want to make sure you guys get A's.
I have
Yeah.
a question. Can you
Yes.
go over on Monday? Can you go over number 12?
Yes, I absolutely will.
Thank you.
One final time.
Have a good night.
Can you do it like the first time?
Again, I'll try to do it the best way I think is possible.
Okay, thank you.
Who is that?
Lizette?
That was Lizette?
Yes, sir.
Lizette, why don't you do this? Let me do this for you so that when I present it on Monday again, that we are in tune. Lizette, where are you at in here?
I'm here.
No, last. Where's your last name here?
Oh, Esparza. ESP.
Okay, yeah, Lizette. Lizette, you have my phone number?
No, no, sir.